Masemola is very respectful. He would have made a good bishop. He doesn't have enough pushback when he's supposed to do it. South Africa is under siege when it comes to these drugs. We're not doing well to protect ourselves, especially our kids, from this stage.
So you're saying that if you say you're going to kill someone, you will kill them?
If I wanted to kill her, she would be dead.
Oh, right here in the house.
So she's not dead. So
that's a very powerful statement.
Indeed. I was having a dinner with my beautiful wife. At least there's one common thing we have with Julius. One police officer I like is Mkhwanazi. Not because he's Mkhwanazi, not because he's beautiful or what, no. But Mkhwanazi is a human being like me and you. He's got his faults. One problem that has happened about Mkhwanazi is the South African society that have sang him hallelujah. Sullivan, according to him, is nothing but the god of security world, the god of running the politicians, the god of knowing every and any other thing. Victims are treated worse than the perpetrators. Perpetrators in South Africa are having it nice. We paid 13,000 rands per prisoner a month. We paid 350 rand for a person that does not work and is hungry with the family. By the way, many of the leaders of Matlala, leaders of the movement, have been seen with Matlala. I hope you have seen his photo with the president. I hope you have, yeah. It's public, is there. I know one person that they take a lot of photos with is Julius.
I don't have a photo with Matlala. Never.
Well, at least Usbaru. So,
yesterday you said that if you were the national commissioner and you received that New Year's Eve directive about disbanding the trust team, you would have told him to stay in his lane. Do you think that General Masemola is part of the problem for allowing political interference?
I don't think it's a part of the problem, General Masemola. Well, to start with, on the eve he wasn't there, and then but at the end of the time, I think for me it became very soft, even to engage on phasing out. For me, he should have said, no, it can't happen. Maybe take the opportunity of explaining to the minister, eyeball to eyeball, how it came about and advise. But looks like there was not even an opportunity of the National Commissioner, nor Mkhwanazi, nor Khumalo, to brief the minister on these matters. I think the door was shut for them. Even if they wish to do it, it doesn't look like they were given the opportunity to do it.
So do you think that this is a characteristic, or that he just responded softly, and as the president had, my CIC had said, he was more agreeable, or is that speaks to his character, and is that the type of character that we need as a national commissioner, who can't say to the politicians, yay, stay in your lane?
I think he's one person that I've worked with for a very long time. When I was a commissioner, when I was Masemola is very respectful. He's something that has a lot of respect as a person, as a human being. No doubt about that. Sometimes in the circles where I speak, I said he would have made a good bishop, Masemola. He's got maybe a very good heart to look after the lions That's that for me. But he knows his job. He knows his job. Maybe he doesn't have enough pushback when he's supposed to do it. He would take you along. Maybe taking you along until he reaches the cliff and he jumps with you or on the cliff. But I think it's one person that, well, he's a human being, but he's one person that I think he will have very less bad intentions in life.
Let's talk about just some border control issues. We were talking about, and you spoke also very passionately about the influx of drugs in South Africa, and this is largely due to our porous borders. We don't have enough scanners. Are you aware of that?
Well, I don't see Mom James. Oh, okay. She's here. I know how passionate she is when it comes to the drug issues, which South Africans should really be so. We are under siege, Honorable Member. South Africa is under siege when it comes to these drugs. We have been found as a lucrative market and transit. Let me give you a little bit of a story. In '94, I went for training in London. I was trained in one of the most elite institutions called Scotland Yard. I did my training there. That time I was with Brian. He was in the School of Economics. I was in the Civil College of Safety in London. We were told there, '94, that South Africa is going to be playground of gangsters and drugs. They said there were 3 reasons for that when we were told in Scotland Yard. There were 3 reasons for that. One is our aviation system that will expand to the whole world, so it would be easy. Secondly is the strength of our currents. They don't mind to use our money. And thirdly is a banking system that it was easy to move the money and all that. And it has happened exactly that way. That we are a new playground of drugs, both transit and both consumption. But consumption, unfortunately, they find the market on the poor little child, especially black child, that makes those that live in huge suburbs very much rich. Is one area where I will accept that I don't think that we have had enough pushback when it comes to the drug situation. So I think more work must be done on that matter. But also, Honorable Member, I would make a call that there is this document. I don't know if honorable members have this document. It's called Integrated Crime and Violence Prevention Strategy. Honorable Member James knows it. This document, the subheading says, a whole of government and whole of society approach to fight crime. I think it was signed by the cabinet in 2022, developed by the Department of Police. So it would be good to work on it because the drug issue starts with home. It starts with the society. It's the very society that kills our kids, selling them the drugs and all that. It would be good that all of us will work on that matter. But it's one area where I think even our court system are not very hard when it comes to dealing with the drug issues. There is this sad story of Mlife that is going around, of the judge and all that. I think, giving you my opinion, the way we are under siege, as the government as the security apparatus, as the society, were not doing well to protect ourselves, especially our kids, from this scourge.
The question was specifically asking about scanners at our borders. Do we have enough?
Scanners.
That can scan drugs and human trafficking, etc. Because
No,
you also served, there's a...
No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't have.
So when you served as the National Commissioner and also as a minister on the, I think it's the Border Management Inter-Ministerial IMC.
PMA.
Yeah. And that's headed by the Minister of Home Affairs from what I understand. So were there discussions and was there a push that we get more scanners? Because surely this can't be a budget thing because it starts there at the borders. So what were the discussions? Why is Treasury not releasing money to get more scanners, from your understanding?
It was raised, not once, for many times, to find those scanners. But as you say, that Treasurer will look at that, and the security cluster coming to it. It will help if we can get more scanners. But I can assure you, that would not stop the drugs coming. We'll have to have the extra method, but it will reduce it as it comes. Drastically, I'm not sure, because one big problem about this thing is the human nature, Honourable Member. It's the human nature. As you are sitting here, everybody asks the question about the Auditor General. Everybody asks the Auditor General, PCKI, and all that. You come here, you see the scope and all that. Drug lords and criminals have no Auditor General. They don't have Auditor General. They don't have a budget. They don't have a scope. So the budget of criminality always beats the budget of government. That's why it's important that security cluster is taken as one of the departments to make the country stable. And it is not so at the present moment.
Noted, Minister. So Treasury, I think, also just gets the, and I think even members of Parliament and government, we get this thing mixed up because it's Parliament that approves budget. And it's not necessarily Treasury. So I think that's something we as the ad hoc committee must note in our findings, that it can't always be Treasury that dictates what must happen. We are the lawmakers, and when things needs to happen, we need to give instructions and they need to follow through, because their general attitude is that they are the deciding factor on money. But that's just by the way.
Can I answer now?
Yes, please.
But she also says that I wanted to kill her.
Who?
That disclosure.
Okay.
She says that person who...
But that's deflecting now, Minister.
No.
Let's speak to this. Is it true or not?
But I'm saying she also claims then the closer to the president, I want to kill her.
Okay.
And she's not dead.
But it doesn't mean that... Oh, so you're saying that if you say you're going to kill someone, you will kill them?
If I wanted to kill her, she would be dead.
Oh, right here in the house.
So she's not dead. So
that's a very powerful statement.
Indeed. Because that's what she says there, is a part of the lies that are there.
Let's talk about Matlala, because you said you like to get freebies from him because you're on pension. You're on pension now. You don't think that he has any expectations from you at all, that he's engaging?
I didn't say I want to get freebies. I didn't say that. I said I was given freebies.
Oh, you said you liked it too because you're a pensioner.
No,
I misunderstood.
you say I said I want to. I didn't say I want. I was given the freebies.
Oh, okay.
No, I understand that, and even maybe the term freebies is overarching, but I don't think that. It did hit my mind, and it was never said that there was an expectation from his side.
So you don't think he has? I missed that part, that he has any
expectation. It has never been said, and I've never thought so.
Okay. And you didn't consider that he has any expectations?
No.
He's just been nice to been nice to you. So when he comes here, because he's definitely coming here to the ad hoc committee, how would you respond if he tells us that he traveled by road to bring cash to you because he couldn't fly with the large amount of cash that he was bringing to you?
I would say never. I never received any cash from him. But I've met him twice. I met him in one of the top curry restaurant in Pretoria, where I was having a dinner with my beautiful wife. At least there's one common thing we have with Julius.
Minister, you can see my chair is going to cut me on time, so you can keep your wife's stories.
He came to me there. One police officer I like is Mkhwanazi. Not because he's Mkhwanazi, not because he's beautiful or what, no. Because he knows his work. But Mkhwanazi is a human being like me and you. He's got his faults. I think one problem that has happened about Mkhwanazi is a South African society that have sang him hallelujah. And as a human being, you would love to float in the clouds of popularity. And out of that, you begin to make mistakes. I've said to you, some of the things, Mkhwanazi is a tough nut as a human being because that's how we train. I've sat down with him. Mkhwanazi had said to me, I'm sorry, Minister. I don't think that many people can find that from Mkhwanazi. But that does not make him a holy person. And I believe that the mistakes he made are genuine mistakes. What do you want me to say about him, to do to him, I would not. I believe. I have not seen him. I am planning to see him. But as I'm sitting here, I believe that he made a genuine mistake. And then if you make a mistake, and I believe it's a mistake, yes, you need to be pardoned. But I have not arrived there. But I have arrived in the understanding that he made a genuine mistake.
Let's talk about Cato Manor for a moment. You know them all very well. The still surviving members, because some have died, of the Cato Manor crew. Well, we heard in the Zondo Commission that there was a meeting between the then minister and the then acting National Police Commissioner, and they took the decision to make the arrest as public and humiliating as they could, because they believed the Sunday Times story. Of course, history has shown that those people who lost their salaries, their jobs, their lives, and were branded with the M for murderers on their foreheads, basically, were all innocent. They were cleared by the courts. And I was saddened when the Lieutenant General told us he didn't really recall much about it, because it was his decision to go ahead and join in that political decision to close the unit and arrest everyone. And in fact, the courts have just started paying them out because they're all suing the SAPS for many, many millions. I believe you might have handled it differently had you been in charge. Your thoughts, please.
Jefferson, I said yesterday, Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi is a good cop, but he has faults, and I said some of his faults are serious. That is one of the serious faults that he committed. I don't care who says what. I'll go anywhere. That's my belief, and what I see, I see, that's the way I see that what happens. But one thing that is not said, when General Mkhwanazi was here, he raised the issue of him having problem with former Minister Mthethwa, may his soul rest in peace, and President Zuma. He did not tell that initially there were parties with Minister Mthethwa, they caused this disaster together.
Yeah.
They caused a disaster. So there was a time when they were together and they caused a disaster. I don't know when they realized that one is wrong. This Katomena thing was a part of the Hawks. And the structures that deal with the misbehavior of the police and all that they could do. But putting on the scale, their successes and what they did for the people of South Africa was huge.
Yeah.
Chairperson, there was zero cash heist in KZN under that team. Zero. Taxi industry took the line. Criminals, there was a situation that there was a saying that if you want to commit crime, get away out of that province and do it somewhere. There was a saying said, if Katomena wants you, wake up in the morning and go and knock the police station and say I'm here. So, how people they look at it and all that, we can't debate that. But fighting crime, that's why even today, or even until I leave the organization, there's been a call to say, can they come back? I say they're dead. Some of them are destitute. Some of them, well, are surviving. And I hate this thing. I hate this thing of people claiming the police for things that police must pay the money because they've done wrong to them. But I wouldn't mind if I know that South African Police Service must pay more than 100 million for all of them for the thing that for unlawful arrest and the harassment that happened to them when they send the trucks and literally take them like you are evicting a criminal, taking them and clamping them somewhere, putting all the, and that was under General Mkhwanazi and Minister Mthethwa. And the Minister Mthethwa went to a prosecutor asking that prosecutor to arrest them in June, was accompanied by the General Mkhwanazi to tell you, please make sure that they get arrested. And they got arrested. And today we are facing the unlawful arrest. When I said so, when you talk about Katomena, is one mistake that has happened in the history of police coming forward. And such a huge negative impact in crime fighting. With that team, for a very long life, they would be there. I was even prepared to be castigated by my organization because I attended their trials. I was castigated of supporting the rebels and all that. But I knew that those were good human beings doing the work to protect South Africans. Sullivan, according to him, is nothing but the god of security world, the god of running the politicians, the god of knowing every and any other thing.
Is there anything that you think from a law perspective or an institutional reform perspective we should be considering?
Chairperson, I've said this time and again, or I heard Mkhwanazi talking about it here. I said this is a good learner. I've said it time and again. Sometimes I think those that I belong with them in the organization, they'll think I'm a rebel on it. We created the situation where victims are treated worse than the perpetrators. Perpetrators in South Africa are having it nice. And the victims are thrown under the bus by the system. Most of your kids here, they are at school, private school, you have houses, you have cars and all that. If one of you are shot and killed, that killer will be taken to police station. The first thing that will do will complain about cold water. Want a hot water. That's the first thing that I can't use cold water here, I want a hot water. And indeed, you run around like a headless chicken getting hot water for him. The second one will say, I don't eat this, I eat this. When he's sick, most of them are taken to private hospitals where they have never been. Go there. When they are sentenced, they sit with TV and they watch everything and still go enjoy their medication and all that. When they stay longer, they study until they... we have just been given the numbers of those that will be writing matric, and others, they come out with PhDs and all that. Where are the kids of the father that was shot by that person? Nobody knows. We have the track record and the follow-up of a perpetrator until gets the parole. But we don't know about the kids that as their father dies, they are taken out of their private school because they can't pay. Their cars is repossessed, their house is repossessed, and kids, we call them paras. The system is wrong. We just need to go back. It's sympathetic and it's good to perpetrators vis-a-vis the victims. I think that should be really, well, that is not a sour grape because people that follow my statements, public speaking, I've said that thing time and again. The police die young, maybe that's why we have subset and all that kind of thing. Even that, by the way, Honorable Malema, it's fun that we don't have the special education trust from the government that teaches the offense of the police that die on the line of duty. When we pay about 13,000 rand a month for a single prisoner, and those that are innocent, they get 350 rand. Then it's fine to go to prison. We pay 13,000 rand per prisoner a month. We pay 350 rand for a person that does not work and is hungry with the family.